Hello, and welcome to Swing and a Crit Miss, a Dungeons and Dragons podcast where my friends and I play for our own enjoyment. We're not professionals, we're not amazing gamers, we just like playing and hope you'll enjoy our campaign as well. This content is intended for mature audiences, so for any of your younger folks out there, please be advised. And with that, welcome to Swing and a Crit Miss. Well, welcome back, everyone, to our campaign, The Edge of Apocalypse and all that jazz. Where we last left our adventurers, they had recently done some foraging in the mines, fording, whatever the word, and they encountered a figure known as the Lord of Worms. Seemed to have control over the wee beasties or large beasties inside the mine that were causing troubles for several of the miners. They got out, went back in to take care of him, and in the ensuing battle, they discovered that the Lord of Worms was possessed by a strange centipede worm-like creature that seemed to have connections to the Strings of Fate that controlled each of the players in some way, shape, or form, eating them, reshaping them as they saw fit. The party was able to defeat the Lord of Worms, but the Fate Eater of some sort escaped with 1 hit point, obviously. And
It's
just
totally one hit point.
One hit
Just one.
point. I thought.
After I hit it with water, it was exactly at 1 HP.
But by the way, how much HP are you at? He's like one.
one.
Leaves.
And you guys discovered the true nature of Locke / Lotus / Primrose's brother, being a changeling of some kind. I want to say I literally just watched the last episode. We ended up with you guys exiting. I don't think we ended up with you guys resting towards the end of it. I believe you just exited the cave, and as you exit, you notice that there is a large crowd surrounding the entrance to the mines. You see Gorsh, the orcish miner that you saw. You see Zeeth, you see Vanessa. And there is a look of great concern first. And then as they see you come out, there's an eruption of cheers and shouts from a few of them. Most still are confused as to who you actually are. But you see Zeeth immediately goes up to you. Are you okay? What are you doing? Did everything go okay? And you look down and you're like covered in like smoke and black powder from the explosions of things and like cave dust and stuff. Some of you are bruised up and cut up heavily. Lotus especially, as Locke, very injured and walking on his last legs, having gone down in the fight. But yeah, you receive a hearty welcome back in. Vanessa comes up to you as well and looks around, sees Locke being injured. You see her kneel down on one leg and grab his shoulder, and you see just a holy glow similar to Brennan's lay on hand ability on Locke. And she stands up, looks around. I think we're going to have to talk about some things that went on there. You certainly got the attention of everyone with the amount of noise you made in that mine there. So, best place to do this will probably be Bulwark Place. That's the most solitary, away from prying eyes, as it were. So I'm happy to open up my office if there's things we need to discuss about what exactly went on there.
Yes, unfortunately, you'll have to change your days since last incident to 0.
Well, we've expected as much. You see one little like goblin just like erasing the chalkboard that they had.
Damn it.
I like to think it was
man.
set at like 1 anyway.
Yeah, really, because
Yeah,
they're being
right.
killed anyway. So
Right.
It was too long.
Yep.
yeah.
But she says, if you have need of rest before you come and discuss, we'll be happy to have you rest up before. Just try not to discuss too much of it in public. We're never sure who might be looking into what you're investigating. So,
I think it'd be good to talk while it's fresh on our mind.
Let's do it.
all right, come with me, and you all gather. A crowd parts, especially with Vanessa's just bulky form, moves in parts for her as soon as she like shouts out, "Get out of the way!" Parts like the Red Sea, and you all are taken to the bulwark, office holding area, whatever you want to call it, and you're given refreshments, water, food, um, anything you could possibly want in terms of recovery at this point.
I'm guessing this would count as a short rest then. If we
This
wanted
will
it.
count as a short rest if you would like to take one.
I'm gonna assume. What time? Can we tell what time it is?
What was that?
Can we tell what time it is?
At this point, you guys went in pretty early in the morning. At this point, I'd say it's probably like mid-afternoon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock ish. As you guys kind of
I'm gonna
all.
roll
Oh yeah.
a hit die. I'm rolling a hit die.
Oh yeah. Feel free to roll
why
and
not?
recover those really quick.
I would assume we're probably just gonna long rest here before we continue on.
Yeah, but one
I
is
don't trust Archer.
relatively
I
free.
don't trust the DM to let us
What?
to allow that so
Why?
easily.
When I have ever broken your trust?
The season is young.
True. All right, as you guys rest up for a bit and are given food, nourishment, all the things you might need, Vanessa and Zeeth, and you see two other folks come into the room. Sorry, just gonna make sure I have these down. You have Zeeth, Vanessa, Lauren, a human woman, and then you have a what's the word? A gnomish man. There we go. Jesus. Known as Brick. Come in. And as Vanessa introduces these two, Lauren and Brick are kind of in charge of the sort of like the miscellaneous companies that are involved. So whether it's, blacksmith out somewhere in the country or other tinkerers here and there, they're kind of in charge of, making sure those entities are represented besides just Malachi and the Bulwark / the Kingdom being represented there. Vanessa greets everyone, sits all down. You guys are kind of gathered around her desk, which has been made a little bit more roomy for everyone to sit in so that you're not all standing like you were last time. And she starts off and says, well, beyond what we could hear of explosions and the rustling that occurred outside, what do you want to tell us about what happened inside? And I will say also, Locke is also with you at this point.
Get straight to the point. The individual or creature that was bringing these worms here to wreak havoc has been taken care of.
That's good to hear. But it sounds like there's some other news.
Yes.
The person that was controlling the worms was actually being controlled himself by a otherworldly worm-like entity. And this entity was very strong and unfortunately escaped before we could end it. Now,
I'll
we're
do
not
my
sure-
best to recreate it with a minor illusion.
Sure. Well, was it this Lord of Worms that had a problem with the mines, or was it the creature itself that came out of him that had a vendetta?
I think any problems for the immediate future will be relatively solved, but whether here or elsewhere, I don't think that creature is going to lie down quietly.
From what I could gather from it, it seemed like this puppeteer is looking just to cause chaos, to cause harm. to our, like, wherever they can do so. I'm guessing there's a larger plan, but that's all that we know so far.
It didn't affect me personally, but it seemed to be somehow tied to the fates as well.
Mm-hmm.
Out of character, did we know that in character? Was that given information to us in character?
You've felt, magically, like the strings of fate. Like, for example, when Brennan's intimidation got taken away, it was like there was a slight like shift in a timeline almost, where like suddenly whatever training or practice he had just like was gone without you even realizing it quite yet in the moment.
Is it still gone?
It is still gone.
Even after a short rest?
Yep. And the same thing happened with Locke, and Locke kind of describes his feeling of losing his point in charisma, however that would take the shape of whatever way you want to say that. It was all very like just subtle like shifts in like, it's a weird thing to mess with like memories in the past, but it's like one little shift in what you did some point along your life just didn't happen, and now you feel, those of you who are affected, now you feel like, wait a second, I did this, but not, I didn't. And it kind of like is a back and forth of what you remember happening in your life at this point.
Cool. So I'll relay that. Feels like the creature is somehow tied to the fates.
I wonder if it did something with this Lord of Worms who adjusted his fate in some way, shape, or form. Vanessa speaks up. Did you get the name of the Lord of the Worms? Did he ever tell you what his true name was, besides the title?
Korgesh.
Look back on, and you see her kind of grab a book, looking back through things. Huh. We had a Korgesh about 4 years ago. It disappeared. Didn't hear from him. Escaped off into the mines, broke free of his chains, and was never heard from again after he went into the mines. We assumed he fell into a collapse or ravine or something. You didn't come out with a body. Is there still one in there?
Yeah.
There should be.
Probably.
Did Locke grab the cloak? Did somebody grab the cloak?
Auran grabbed the cloak. And I'll say someone make a history check. I'm going to be rude about this.
I'll do it.
Okay, Auran, go ahead.
Not
Just
bad, not
Auran,
bad.
no one else.
Oh, sorry.
15.
15. You remember that Korgesh's body disintegrated into worms.
I was about to say, I don't think there was a body.
Mm-hmm. So
Unfortunately, his
left.
body's in pieces of worms. Unrecoverable.
Right.
Do you mind if I see that cloak that you have?
Was it special, Zachary? I'm trying to look at my notes here.
As far as you could tell, it was not. It was just
I guess
like,
I just have
fancier.
black cloak in my inventory.
Yeah, it was fancier looking. Like it had some like filigree and some jewels on it, but you couldn't tell whether it was magical or not.
Sure, I'll hand it over.
Kind of looks it over. This is not anything that he would have gotten from anywhere around us. She kind of hands it around to Brick and Zeeth and Lauren and gets it back and hands it back to you after they kind of inspect it. None of those materials are anything we would have on hand. I don't know where he could have gotten that from. As far as I can tell, it's inane, doesn't have any magical energies flowing through it, so it seems quite safe for you to hold on to it if you'd like. But the fact that he had it doesn't make much sense unless he was a skilled weaver and found the materials somewhere else, but that seems quite impossible at this point without us knowing. at the very least, it seems like at this point, the problem is solved. So we appreciate that, and I'm sure Malachi will be compensating you for his services rendered at some point here in the
I
future.
can only hope.
Zeeth actually speaks up. I'll have some funds left over for you once you want to meet me inside my office, and I will be happy to distribute those to you as soon as possible, as well as I already sent out a clockwork bird to Malachi to let him know of your success in solving that problem. If you're hanging around, you could wait for his response, or if you got other places to be, I'll relay any messages, or if you see him later, you can relay whatever messages you need there.
Where are we supposed to be going again?
I mean, nowhere fast, but we were seeking someone in the deserts, I believe, from...
We're seeking two people,
I'm-
aren't we?
I'm horrible with names.
We don't know if they're in the desert or if they're in the city.
The
Was-
desert.
It was Elise, who's the tiefling mage who was working with the shadow guy, and she sent us on a mission to find a guy in the desert. To see if there's like a war happening.
I'll say, so you were sent to discover a man named Siror Ozin,
Siror Ozin, yeah.
who was a contact that Elise had through Gellen, who, like,
But
you're
They
not
said
supposed
it's
to...
in Gellen.
Yeah, you're not supposed to talk about that, but he is known to go to the Manarot deserts from time to time, so you weren't sure if he would be there or in Gellen
Oh,
one
yeah.
way or the other.
Mhm.
Because
So
he's...
is Gellen in? Can I see the map again? Or do we have that
Yeah.
somewhere?
Let me...
My mind is
that-
like wizard equals like College of Winterhold, so I'm just thinking like snowy Gellen.
Right, yeah.
I mean, there's a mountain range in between where we were and Gellen, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Hold on.
And we're on
This
the
is
other
being
side of
very
the mountain,
slow.
right? Or are we not there yet?
Indeed. Yeah, we're
You're
on
not
the
there
other
yet.
side.
You're right at the edge of the mountains at
I
this
was about
point.
to, I this felt like a mountain town, like we were crossing
Yes.
the mountain.
About to go through it, or have we already
Yes.
gone through it and we're on the edge?
No, you hold on. I'll get the map up, but my internet is being stupid.
Conglomerate.
Conglomerate.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Pull up the maps. Okay. I think so. Whoop. That's not the right one. Sorry, I haven't uploaded the right one. 1 second. Pull up another map. I got it down. Shit.
While that's happening, we were looking for Siror Ozin because, like, war stuff?
Because
knows?
of the demonic
Is it
or
the-
devil or whatever aberration in the
We
The
just
Moon
were-
Devil?
Says
Information.
that they can't message Gellen mages from here due to magical sensory barrier.
yes.
She's familiar with the leader there, which is Siror Ozin.
Okay. So right now
Oh, that's right, okay.
you're over here. You're in Gold Run in the mountains. So you're right next to these mountains. I'll go ahead and pull up this one. Maybe. There we go. So you're about like in this little area here, and Gellen is over here, and the desert is way to the south over here.
Mhm.
The
Yeah, we're not
Glanfar
even
clan you went
halfway.
interacted with up to the north was about here.
Yeah.
So
What's the biome that Gellen is in?
Gellen is more of a savanna, more of like a grasslands kind of thing, compared to Talstadt, which has more trees and things like that.
Okay.
The Manarot Desert, I'll just say this as because you would know, the Manarot Desert is a place where the apocalypse hit the hardest, hence it's Manarotted, so there's magical, crazy things happening throughout that area. Gellen is just weird with magic because of the freedom that they have in that country versus what they do in Talstadt.
Cool.
So yeah. So as you're still sitting here with Vanessa and everyone, she says, well, I can't think of any other information we might need. We'll see if we can add some extra guards towards our miners and see if we can manage with what we've been working with in this. But thank you.
The immediate danger is probably settled, so they can get back to work without having to worry for now.
Sounds good. We will keep an eye out. Thank you for all of your services. And she kind of gives you leave to go. Everyone else stands up and begins moving around.
I would like to go back to the mines.
Are you saying this to everyone, or are you just saying this to the
No,
party?
Auran is going to the mines.
Okay. You guys
Perhaps
watch.
we shook free some gems.
You go off to the mine. Anyone want to follow Auran as he goes off?
Yes, I'll follow.
Brendan, follow. Anyone else?
I'm staying with Lotus, so wherever he goes.
Lotus / Locke is pretty injured, so he's like, I'm going to the inn to sit down for a bit. As he
I'll go with
veers
Lotus.
off. Okay.
I will go with Primrose and Lotus.
Primrose. All right. Brenin and Auran. You guys begin walking towards the mine. You see some people passing by, just kind of giving you strange looks, and some of admiration, some of just like, what the fuck were they doing down there? Sort of things. As you pass by Gorsh, who kind of gives you a nice head nod, and goes back to kind of rallying up the miners around him and say, we're gonna get paid again, boys! And kind of get them all worked up into shape again. As you keep moving towards the mine, anything you want to talk about, or what's your plan as you go into the mines?
Where are we going and why are we doing this?
All those explosions were sure to set free some gems or geodes of value. Perhaps it's worth a quick look.
All right.
Okay. As you go into the thing, I'm going to check my Discord to see if Eric has sent me a message of what he actually wants to do. If he wants to be sneaky about things.
Can
Not
we
being sneaky.
say we picked
But-
up our money before they went to the mine?
No,
I want to do
you
that
have,
after.
yeah, you have not gotten your money yet. You'll get that once you stop by like Zeeth's place. Zeeth's. That's a hard name to say. Zeeth's place.
Did it to yourself.
You're right. So Auran and Brenin, you guys are going over to the mines. Traveling through, you find kind of the familiar spots that you've been in, and going back and forth through.
We are going to the same place that we were already at, right?
That depends on what Auran wants to do. Auran's kind of leading. Where do you want to go?
I want to go where the explodies was.
Okay,
See if
so
there's any gems or anything.
sure. As you go ahead, both of you, give me an investigation check.
God damn it, my dice is. I got like a casino like set of dice,
Oh hell yeah!
so it's pretty
That's
neat.
awesome.
But it gets stuck in my dice.
Oh,
Nat 20.
oh shit!
Oh. Well, good for you, because I got 4.
4. All right. As you're passing by and kind of going almost all the way to where you had left Korgesh and the Fate Eater, Brendan, you are seeing and passing by several nodes that got shook loose by the explosion. There's no like precious ores out of here that you can see, as this, this area that you went down had already been previously mined out. But you do see that some like wall collapses, some different areas that were shook loose by the explosions. There are some raw materials, raw iron, kind of left around, hanging around and fallen over in several places, but no precious gems, unfortunately.
Are they too small for a net? Like to be carried in a net.
I'd say you'd be able to carry it in a net. Like these are raw components, so it's like bricks of stuff. It's not like tiny pebbles of stuff. So you'd be able to carry, we'll say if you wanted to, you could carry up to, I'd say you'd get about 5 pounds of raw material, raw iron.
We'll do that.
Sure. Good eye, Brennan.
No, what are you looking for again? No gems
Uh,
or anything.
Yes, unfortunate. I guess we'll go back. You guys are so sus of me.
I haven't
We'll go
said
back.
anything.
I know, but I could feel it.
Auran, what do you want to do? Did you want to sneak in here on your own?
No. I'm looking for precious jewels and gems. I'm a collector.
You've made everyone suspicious of your actions.
The party
Alright.
will remember this.
As you come out and kind of make your way back to the inn that's set up for everyone. Primrose and Odavius, is there anything you'd like to do while you're walking back?
Before we switch, can we just offload that? Can we get some money?
Yeah, sure. 5 pounds of iron. I'll go ahead and say you guys get 10 gold for 5 pounds of
Nice.
iron.
Want to split that? Hauler?
Sure.
Nice.
All right. Primrose and Odavius, what you want to do?
My plan was to go to Zeeth and get the money for everybody.
Sure. As you go over Odavius, you kind of walk with Zeeth, and you're able to walk with him, and he kind of looks around his disorganized office as you guys arrive there, and you see him pull out a rather large sack of gold, puts it in front of you. Now remember, this is to share. To share.
How much is in it?
You see, open it up, and there is 1,000 gold to be
Pretty
split amongst
good.
all of you.
Looks delicious.
Nice.
All right.
Cool.
Primrose, what are you doing?
And then I will go back to the inn with Prim.
I'll probably have headed to the Odavius runs off to Zeke's. I'd probably head to the inn with Lotus.
Mm-hmm.
As we're walking, let's kind of look at him.
At a certain point, Lotus just kind of looks at you and says, just give me a second. And kind of, you see him kind of go off behind a couple like buildings, and you see Locke go away, and then the form of Lotus walks back out. All right, it's nice to be in my own skin for once, in a bit.
Yeah, feel better?
Oh, not great, but better.
Let's go get a
Alright.
drink or take a nap or something.
Both of those sound great. And you see him, as you guys enter the inn, he orders drinks for both of you, and you guys sit down in the booth. Well, yeah, that was the thing we did.
We certainly did a thing, and we both survived somehow.
Yeah. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Oh, great. Okay, for me, 14 is not bad.
14, not bad. He is tired. Like, especially since, like, you've been missing for 10 years, or he's been missing for 10 years, but you haven't seen him for that amount of time. And every youthful aspect that you remember him having, you know, on your adventures that you did with him, running around, doing whatever. You look at him now, and despite the fact that he has the ability to look like however he wants, his eyes are sunken in, and his, like, just posture is just loose and broken.
Mhm.
You're not quite sure whether that's just because of the combat, or if, you know, he's just, like, been through a lot in these 10 years, and he's now, like, just letting it all sink in. But he just looks so tired.
Okay. I'll take a second to take it in and be, brother, you're very good at what you do, but are you sure it's worth it?
I don't have anything else to do, quite frankly, to earn a living. It's been a
Always
long
find other things.
Yeah. Did that thing talk in your head when you attacked it?
Yeah, but it tried to hurt me with words, but it seems to have affected you more than it affected me.
Yeah. Yeah, just kind of see him, like, rub his eyes and, like, rub his temples. Seems like just pulled some strings about our old life in our family.
Yeah, it tried to as well on me. You were always more tightly tied to mom and dad than I.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
suppose so.
seen them at all?
No, not in this line of work.
Neither have I.
Hmm.
To be frank, I kind of don't care.
Yeah. Might be good to check in on them. Maybe I'll take a break after this for a bit. See if they're changed at all, or literally or figuratively at this point, because who knows what's going to happen.
And knowing them, I don't know if that'd be for better or worse.
I bet one of them turned into a giant demon.
They already were.
Exactly.
Just physically now. Huh?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to say goodbye after this.
I know. But we'll have to find a way to actually keep in touch now that I know that you're alive and where you are.
I'll keep in touch a little better than I have for these past 10 years. And again, you may not see me, but I'll definitely be there for the important things.
Yeah. I just... No offense. I don't need you by my side every moment now, but just knowing you're alive and around is very helpful.
Well, I'm sure we can get in contact and figure out how we can stay in touch every once in a while.
Give me some time. I didn't think I would need some new magical prowesses, but a little bit more growing, and I think I'll know of a way to contact you.
I know you will. And as this happens, everyone else kind of gathers back towards the inn. You see the human form of Lotus and Primrose sitting in a corner, sharing a drink and talking. As you kind of get together, and it's probably about like 3 o'clock at this point, after explorations of everyone, getting money and stuff. So
I was
you
a
guys are
personal
gathered.
fan of Locke more than I am Lotus, and I'll wink.
Well, he's kind of short and his back hurts a lot, so there's only so much I can do with that one.
All right, we have this bag of gold. 1,000 gold.
Wonderful.
Are we splitting it evenly 4 ways?
Well,
Lotus, nope,
technically.
no, I already got my payment for what I've needed to do, so don't
No
worry about
offense.
it.
I wasn't considering you, so.
None taken.
Oh.
The less you consider me, the better of a job I have done. I've already kind of screwed up in a couple ways in general right now.
Prim,
So-
are you good with even split?
Yeah.
Okay, 250
Right.
each.
250.
I'll slide like 50 of it to Lotus and be like,
He just kind
take a
of
vacation.
passes it back over to you.
Take a vacation.
No, I'm quite fine.
Yeah.
No
It's,
offense.
Vacation from where? I don't think we were able to talk about that in the moment.
No, we weren't, and I'm sure you as a Bulwark member would be very interested in the things that I do.
How did you know?
No offense, but A, you guys don't exactly fit the random mercenary groups that Malachi usually hides, and B, I get my hands on a lot of information a lot of the time.
And I'm guessing Prim told you.
Oh, not
Mhm.
really. No.
We
just
worked
play the
with
part
you
very
before?
well.
Have we just so happened to have worked on something with you, not this you, but with you before?
No, not that I can remember. You've probably worked with other of my associates from time to time, but they don't quite have the skill I do.
Odavius, it must have been that bulwark underwear. You always
Stop.
wear it.
No, I don't. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's got a little inscription on the inner band.
Yeah.
It says Odavius.
No, it's just
Odavius heart bulwark.
It's
Yes.
just
Back.
Oda.
Oh, okay,
It's
Oda.
not-
There we
it's not
go.
full name, It's just Oda.
Okay, fair enough. But Lotus looks at you and stares you dead in the face, Brenin, and you see there is now no hint of irony or joking as he says this particular thing. And he says, "It would be better if you stayed in your own lane than worry about my business at this point."
Does our business mix very often? Your business, our business, bulwark business?
I think you know the answer to that already, whether you want to admit it or not.
And it doesn't let me I don't really want to let you leave.
Well, I'll have you know I'm very good at escaping and getting lost, as Primrose will tell you, of the last 10 years.
So
Not that I
is
was
this the
good at
last
it.
we see of you for now, then? Like, you'll be gone tomorrow, or will we have breakfast before we all go our own ways? Little farewell, Brecky.
The less you know of my plans after this, probably the better.
And then I'm gonna get up and go to the bar, but as I leave, I'll put a quick hand on Prim's shoulder and look at him as like, "Don't worry, we'll take care of her." And I'm going to go get a drink.
Okay. But, if at any point here, Lotus continues, you need any information or assistance of some kind, I know a vast many things and would be happy to help you free of charge, considering the fact that I'm alive because of you four.
What is the current info on Gellen?
There's a decent amount. Is there something in particular you want to know?
I guess you would be not an awful person to ask this. Have you had interactions with Siror Ozin?
Siror Ozin, kind of thinks for a bit. He's a collector of sorts. Likes looking for artifacts. Before the apocalypse, he was an archaeologist. Looked at old historic things and things like that. The strangest things started happening after the apocalypse when some of the artifacts that he collected turned on and started doing their own things.
Yeah.
Began infusing with magic, faces beginning to talk, things like that. Whether that was just the apocalypse or something, he's been researching. I know he's been going a lot to the Manarat deserts for his expeditions
Yeah.
into the past and things like that.
Do you
But-
loosely know of his current whereabouts or plans of where he's going to be? We might be looking for the man, and if he's in Gellen, I don't want to jaunt to the Manarat deserts and miss him.
He's normally stationed in Gellen. He's not necessarily part of the ruling people of the Council of Nine there, but he does have his influence over there. He's quite rich and influential in that capacity. If you're going to start somewhere, I'd start there rather than the Manarat deserts. They're
Okay.
not exactly the best places to try and explore.
I'd agree. Thank you.
Of course. Anything else you want to know?
About this time, I come tumbling back to the table. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot to ask what y'all wanted.
We're good.
I look at Brennan, Auran, the rest of my crew.
I'm good.
I'll have a round with you, Odavius.
Well, just what I'm having, or what?
Yes, whatever.
Brennan?
Who are the current? Do you know the current leaders? This Council of Nine.
That doesn't answer my question. I go back to
Bring a shot, Oda.
that.
The Council of the Nine, by their own design, are anonymous. By the history of the place, the Council of the Nine was formed after the common class revolted against the original council, a set of aristocrats and very rich people. After magic came about in the apocalypse, the revolution happened over there, and these 9 councilmen have remained anonymous as an act of democracy and protection against themselves.
Is there anything over there we should be concerned about on our travels?
Well, they're a lot more free with magic, so you're going to see a lot more spellcasters out in the open than you would here. For good or for bad, in any case. But as far as anything specific you would need to worry about, there's a lot more exotic creatures, I would say, over that way, given mages' experimentations and being let loose into the wild. Other than that, I can't really say. I haven't been there in at least 3 or 4 years, as far as I remember.
All right. What's your fondest memory of Prim and you guys while you were young?
Well, now I have to look at Prim's backstory. 1 second.
I have to look at my own
Make that.
backstory.
What's your greatest weakness?
What's... All right, here we go. Okay.
I can make something up, but let me look at anything. If there's anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna look really quick.
I don't think there's anything specific in there.
My greatest memory, I think, was when Prim and I... Sorry, I'm looking at things.
Same.
Oh, God. I think the best memory we had was when we left together, fleeing our parents and starting our own adventures.
The first taste of freedom.
It's a shame that parents can't be more accepting in such dire circumstances as what we all went through.
The apocalypse changed a lot of things. Some take longer than others to adjust.
And you might notice Lotus here doesn't quite look like me.
At least from the start, this other thing happened a little while later, apparently.
And Mom and Dad didn't take too kindly to him being the only quote-unquote normal one. So, we left. And that was the best decision we ever made.
I would agree. Now, if you're headed to Gellen, are you planning on going over the mountains at all?
Over or through, whichever's easier.
How else would we get there?
I would say over the mountains more than through. There's a lot of passages that have been mined out that don't necessarily go anywhere. Might be stuck down there for a while before you actually break through into Gellen. Over might be your best bet. That's usually how we've done it in the past, here and there. But if you'd like, I'd be more than happy to procure some equipment for you on traversing the mountains and seeing where you could end up. All over the table. Don't worry about me stealing things. I'd be more than happy to pay for the goods that you might require. I just have done it a couple times before.
Greatly appreciate it. Any small help?
Should we be concerned about any patrols as we enter?
You know, you never quite know what you'll come across in the mountains. You have elementals, you have other creatures that have made their home up there, whether magical or inane. Never quite sure. I would say elementals are probably the most annoying to deal with, but a lot has changed since the apocalypse. Nothing is ever quite the same when you do it twice.
Gotcha.
Before we get too much farther, how much for 2 ales, 2 shots of whatever's strong, and a water?
Say 5 silver.
Okay.
All right.
I'll come back with all of those drinks and I will. Auran gets an ale and a shot. I take an ale and a shot, and I place the water in front of Prim.
Thank you, Oda.
Very kind.
Cheers.
How can I? Clink. Now, of
Cheers.
course,
'Cause I got nothing.
I don't know if you know this, but usually Malachi's groups have a name of some kind. All the other different ones he goes around to. I'm sure he'll be expecting one from you at some point. I think you can think about it for a bit, but it might be nice to solidify yourselves as a group. I have a feeling you're going to be sticking around for a little while longer.
Oh, great. We gotta think of a name now.
Haha, fuckers.
What have we done?
You can take some time to think about it. I won't make you do it now since you haven't met back with Malachi and done the paperwork yet. But think about it.
Fate shitters.
I was just gonna suggest stupid fuckers.
Fuckers.
But
We
with
can't
two
put that
O's.
on a YouTube title, so we can't call it Stupid Fuckers.
You got time. You can think about it. Now, no offense, but getting drawn near to death makes one rather tired. So I'm going to go relax for a second. If you have need of me, I'll still be around until the early morning. So come check
So
with me
we
if you
are
need
going to have
something.
breakfast before you leave.
Depends on how I feel.
Oda, you are hung up on this breakfast.
Brunch is the best thing to do.
It's family! And I give Auran a wink.
He goes
I don't
up-
know about Lotus, but I know Locke is family.
Well, I'm sure you'll see him at some point in the near future.
Do I gotta put do I gotta mark you with or branding or something so I know it's you, Lotus?
Yeah, you'll just have
Little,
to guess.
little Sharpie on on the back of his neck. Like, Lotus.
You're just gonna have to trust me on this one.
So what will happen when Locke disappears?
In terms of me, or in terms of what Vanessa has to deal with?
I was more concerned about Vanessa.
Oh, Locke will wake up shortly, and return to his post back at camp.
There's a real Locke?
He just needed to be knocked out for a small amount of time.
I'm sure he'll be
Let that
very
go since he was an
appreciative.
arsonist.
I'm sure he'll be very appreciative of the lessened sentence that he wakes up to.
Again. So, nothing has
All right.
changed. I don't do anything too terrible. Now, I must bid you all adieu. And he gives like a very low, sweeping bow with a flourish and leaves to go up to his room.
I'm gonna stand up as he's heading out and it's like, no offense, but I haven't seen the man in 10 years. I'm gonna spend as much time with him as I can.
Alright.
And then I'm gonna follow after.
Okay. The rest of you, what are you doing?
I'm sadly looking at the glass of water that she didn't touch. I'll pick it up and just
Nope.
hand it.
I got it. Thank you.
The rest of you. Any
go to
discussions
bed.
or plans? You're just going straight to bed? Any
Is,
planning on adventures or traveling?
The
This is an
the-
interesting twist.
the centipede thing, it only talked in our heads, right?
Yes,
never
none of
talk out
you
loud.
heard any of the other things it said to you.
Okay.
Wait, what was it speaking?
It didn't speak, just in our heads.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's not something that any of us want to discuss with each other at the moment, right?
I'm just drinking.
Yep, quietly.
It was just
Moment
mean
of silent.
things.
Yeah.
Dark thoughts. Brenin,
Hmm.
will you tell me of your family? The ones from the photo.
Well, that's a long, long story as we pan back to Lotus and him. No, I'm kidding. So you're aware, I might, as we enter Gellen, get deeper and deeper in, I will probably get more emotional.
Is that where you were originally from?
Yes. Place where we lived and grew up for so long, and the place that took everything from me.
Did the
Yeah,
explosion?
did I ever talk about
kill
where I
them?
was from? I don't think I did.
I think so. Did the explosion kill them, or was it another magical phenomenon?
If we're going more into Gellen, we'll be able to pass by the town that we were from. It might be good to stop and see them per se. My wife, she was very hot-headed and was the more talkative one, but she could not cook worth a damn. I don't know what she did or what she used, but any time that I had to be away, my little girl would seem to be a little bit skinnier from not wanting to eat her mom's food.
Sounds like the perfect yin to your yang. I'm sure you're quite the chef.
I had to be. Otherwise, we had nothing to eat.
Perhaps you could prove it sometime for us. Sure, we'll have some time out on the road.
Hopefully. I guess there are some more. Well, it's been a couple of years since I've hunted it or had to go after or use any of the meat that was out in Gellen. Could remember some old recipes.
You ever cook worm?
I would never want to cook that.
Little worm stew.
What would worm? Has anybody in this group eaten worms before? Real life? I have not.
No.
I remember that. What was that old movie?
Well, it was a book, The Kid Who
10
Eats
ways
Worms.
to cook a worm or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they made it a movie. It was
Mhm.
so gross.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that movie. How to eat fried worms? So fun.
How to eat
Oh,
fried
that's what it
worms.
was.
That's
Ah.
yeah.
No, never got me to really want to eat worms. So
Perhaps your wife made that. Maybe that was part of the problem.
maybe.
I'm sure they'd be very happy to know what you're doing and helping people.
That's what I've tried to do all this time.
You certainly don't seem to like magic. I assume that's where it stems from.
The magic is just another tool for do bad things. What Lotus can do, I guess, is a little bit different since that is kind of what he's turned into. It's not so much magic, but at the same time, it's still uneasy.
Well, yes, because how do you know who you're talking to is actually them? Or is it just a shapeshifter?
I don't even want to think about the things that he would be able to do. I hope he has less of an imagination than me.
Ugh.
Well, anyway,
Yeah. He's only able to leave because he's Prim's brother.
sounds like we're going over the mountain.
Over the mountain, unless you want to look for more gems and ore.
I am always a fan of finding something of value, but I don't want to be caught at a dead end. So, perhaps over.
I am not digging.
Those
I
claws
chop.
are for digging.
I
I
don't
just know
dig.
it. Just have him doggy. DM, how long would it take? Because that's how we're going there, baby.
At least a year.
To go like a mile.
Yep.
We're not high enough level, and we don't have the magic to actually do those kind of things.
No, I just want you to like literally claw at it with your claws while we sit behind you.
In an old life, I did have a job as a miner.
Way back in the day.
I'm
Some multiverse.
The multiverse. You're still late to that.
But yeah, you still haven't shown up for your shift, man.
dead. It's fine.
All
right.
I blew up when that house blew up.
right. Prim, is there any like specific things you want to talk about with your brother, or do you want to just like have conversations about childhood and what you guys have been up to?
Yeah, not particularly anything that I can think of.
I will say, just kind of glossing over a couple things if there's anything you want to talk about specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Lotus does tell you that he's employed by the Underground, which you heard of from your time of writing that fake note for Auran's friend, Ro, the Aragonasi. So he's employed by the same people Ro was trying to run away from. And he tells you a little bit about how he got started. He was in prison, and he found out he had these shifting abilities, and a person came up to him and said that he could be useful for some things. And he ended up doing a few jobs, and then later got officially kind of hired on as a reconnaissance and information getter, as well as sometimes, infiltration and looking into certain things that were of interest to the Underground.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty adamant about the fact that he's never had to kill anyone who didn't deserve it. He's very cautious. You can understand from how he kind of gets in and out of whatever situation he's in to make sure that he's not just murdering at random. And so he kind of tells you about some of his jobs that he's done and some of his experiences, but you can definitely tell that, he's being very careful about what specifics he tells you and what details are shared in those jobs.
Yeah.
And at the end of it all, he just kind of ends it with, and whatever you do, obviously this should be not said, but don't tell Brenin. I don't want him to come after me. He's scary.
He's not scary. Let's be honest.
He's a little scary.
With my less proficient intimidation.
Intimidation.
He was scary until after that fight. Then it just...
It's gone. He's a little scary. He's got that breath thing that those Dragonborn can do. It's
Yeah.
nasty.
Good. He has, I think, 0% chance of ever catching you if you start to run, though.
Oh, Well.
But hey. How, I imagine the Underground doesn't like to lose any of their assets, as it were.
No, not particularly. We just had one escape not too long ago. I think that's actually one of the things. I'm not supposed to be investigating it, but I know it's something that popped up.
And so you're just not free to leave, I imagine.
Well, I mean, at a certain point, I can tell them no. I've done enough jobs for them that they know I'm to be trusted and capable of handling myself if things go awry. But it's a job and it pays quite well, and the second I want to give up on it, I'll give up on it.
Fair enough. Just, you've never known your own limits.
You are correct about that. But hopefully we can stay in contact and you can remind me.
Just start thinking saving for retirement in case you need to.
Oh yeah. I think after this I'm going to take a break and go check in on Mom and Dad, whether I do it like this or some other way, but take a small break after all this.
That's fair. And don't worry about money. Before all of this adventuring shenanigans, I was making a pretty penny myself.
I saw a couple of those. You did well.
Figured. Yeah, thank you. It's always learning.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you continue to talk into the late hours of the evening. The rest of you, eventually, after some drinking and rounds, and some people come into the mine. Even Gorsh himself, the orcish miner, buys you guys around as well for your duties and things, and do a nice night of drinking after all is said and done and relaxing. Before y'all rest for the evening, is there anything you would like to do?
Go kill Lotus.
All right,
Good
let's
luck.
do some rolls.
Good luck.
Gotta find the fucker. Kidding.
That's true. All right. Anything else for anyone that they want to explore or do? All right.
Yeah, I'll show Lotus that apparently with my sub race of tiefling I get disguise self I can use.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, hey, I can do the trick too. Not quite the same, but
That's pretty good. Can't do it quite as often as I can. That's the easy part.
that's the
about
unfortunate
myself.
part.
Yeah. All right.
We could fool them in the morning. I'd be you and you be me.
Fortunately, I think
Unless
I'm
you're-
gonna not get caught by Brenin in the morning.
I figured.
He's quick with the manacles. So,
Yeah, he is.
all right. And
I
you
will-
all,
I will be waiting in the morning with my net outside of his door.
yeah.
No, I've already he's taking the window.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Just Brenin with like a butterfly net, just like over top of him. I can see it already.
Or
All
like
right.
the cardboard box with the stick right outside, and he hopes that he knocks it over and traps
Ooh,
it.
piece of candy. Ooh,
Yeah.
piece of candy.
Yes, absolutely. All you guys begin to settle in for the night, and you are all able to take your long rest. Probably one of the first
Yay.
peaceful nights you had in a long while, sleeping in an inn rather than out in the exploration. Brenin, your proficiency intimidation comes back,
Yes. Okay.
as does, if you were there to see him, Lotus's point in charisma comes back as well.
Mm-hmm.
Does that include the health, or is that still?
What?
Oh yeah, somebody's HP got knocked down.
Oh, yes. If you had your HP reduced by the Lord of Worms stuff, that is back up as well. So that's cured.
Cool.
As well.
I think that was me, and I totally forgot. So
Fair enough. All right. As you guys all wake up, Primrose, you notice at the edge of, the vanity or whatever shelves are in this inn, you notice that there is a letter left that was not there previously.
mm-hmm. Imagine
And-
Lotus is gone.
Mm-hmm. You read it,
Yeah.
and it is Lotus's goodbye letter to you. And it kind of just reiterates what he was planning on doing, going to check in on mom and dad. And there's some other parts in there that you did not talk about. And he discusses the Fate Eater's words to him.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that he puts in quotes that the worm told him that he would be the cause of your death. And so he didn't want to say that to you because he knew that you would not want him to leave in that way and leave you alone for that reason. But he is going to try his best to stay in contact. But he is going to try and leave you alone for a decent amount of time until he figures out if that worm was actually telling the truth or not.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Goddamn superstitious as always.
and you see at the bottom, it's marked "Love always, your brother Lotus" in his very classic, like flowy script.
Yeah.
The rest of you don't get a letter from Lotus, unfortunately. But Brenin,
I left him a letter.
you left him a letter?
Yeah, it's in the middle of a net. And I'm just-
Oh,
Brenin,
you thought this was a joke? No.
oh no, he's doing it. Brenin, I will say, you wake up to a large sack of materials in your room. And you open it up, and it is several grappling hooks, several climbing equipment pieces, like pittons and a bunch of rope, as well as snowshoes and mountain climbing shoes. And there is a small little note, a little tiny, like, flashcard that just has a heart on it and Lotus's signature on it as well.
Evidence.
Evidence.
If
Fingerprints.
if I ever see his handwriting again, I'll know. I'll make every person write Lotus.
Just the entire bulwark is just going to write Lotus several times on a chalkboard until you figure it out. The rest of you
Okay.
gather together in the inn. Several people are already going to work and working
Wait a
at the
minute.
mines once more.
Was that stuff in my room when
Yes.
I woke up?
Yes, it was in your room
Bitch.
when you woke up. Mm-hmm.
He's good at his job.
He's good. So,
We'll say in the morning here as we're gathering and eating, you start to see insects crawl up Athena's arm and then kind of into the skin and hide away. I seem to have gotten some new abilities.
Did you fucking boogeyman yourself?
And I'll kind of like raise my arm and like wasps and stuff encircle my hand and my body for a second before kind of retrieving into my skin.
I think we all got
Boogie,
some.
Woogie Nightmare Before Christmas? God.
I was thinking Candyman. That's where my brain was going.
Oh, Candyman.
Candyman.
Am
I
I
don't know
still
Candyman.
drinking? What in the
Candyman,
world?
he just like
Horror
opens his
film.
jaw and like bees just shoot out of it.
It's a good movie.
It is. Mm-hmm. Good horror.
I look at Auran, I'm like, am I still drinking? What the hell just happened?
I can't wait to use them.
So hard not to arrest you.
It's good things for best friends, Brennan.
For threat to the state.
I only care about wildlife.
What is this from?
My abilities seem to be advancing.
Not gonna lie, I saw the worms and I thought your body was just decayed so much that it was maggots.
Is this what we went down into the caves for?
No, I wanted to find gems.
Insight check.
Go ahead, roll insight.
I don't think anybody's ever insight checked one of their own party members so much.
Oh,
20. A slutty 20.
17.
18. I don't even know what he might be lying or trying to talk about, so he hasn't even sent me shit.
Seems genuine.
Seems genuine.
Uh,
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
You were just very bad at it. It didn't seem like you were trying.
That's why you
Okay.
came with me. What would I be without you?
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Are we heading up
am I-
the mountain then?
Okay. I personally don't see a reason to stay for longer. I
Well,
don't have any more business here.
do we want to hear a
Mhm.
word from Malachi?
I'll say, just as a getting ducks in a row, you remember having a conversation with Malachi that it's going to take like 3 days of messaging back and forth with the sparrow
Mhm.
flying. So you'd have to wait here for 3 days if you wanted to hear back from Malachi.
2 days isn't awful, but
No.
No, let's,
We'll
let's
just
get
leave
going.
another message saying thanks for the horses and we're leaving
Well,
here.
I've had a thought, and I kind of want to get some. For once, I want to get some equipment upgraded.
Could we do that here?
I doubt
Depending
it.
on how you want to do it.
So-
There's not any magical shops or anything. Like, pretty standard for like blacksmith here are taking care of like mining picks and stuff.
I feel like Malachi
So-
would be the one to go to for it, but out of game, what I want to do is that like staff whip thing I have.
Hmm.
Is that considered a finesse weapon? Could I make it a finesse weapon?
I believe whips are finesse already. Let me check D&D
Okay.
Beyond.
I believe
It could be.
so.
I think it is, but
Oh, it's probably not metal though, huh?
it is.
I don't think you have the. I still don't think you have the proficiency for it, even with your change.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so the whip
More-
is finesse, but the quarterstaff is still strength based. So
Oh, boo!
yes,
I'd have to get a whole new custom weapon made. Yeah, so this isn't gonna work.
Hmm.
I'll keep practicing with it though, something similar.
Sure.
Basically what I want to do is I want to find something that's kind of similar. Maybe it's more like, that's a deep cut kind of. So like a dagger almost that can like whip out a little bit. I imagine it like can extend. It doesn't have to have reach necessarily, but
I'd say
it's
the
cool.
best you could find would be a short sword. There's no like tinker shop in this mine.
yeah, this I'm saying for like, I might send a message to Malachi being like, hey, can you look into this?
Sure, yeah.
But specifically, I want it set up to where, out of game, if heat metal was cast on it, I could still hold the hilt, but the blade would be enhanced with like fire damage.
Okay, all right. We'll say you can stop by Zeeth and kind of let him know about your designs and stuff.
Did we when we talked to Malachi, did he say it was all right if we left his horses here?
Yeah, he said the horses would come back on their own.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yep.
And
Right,
I
we
would
won't be
just
able
say
to
to
take them
Zeeth,
with us, right?
No.
no,
Yeah.
we can't.
He the idea was like you can leave them there, and once he gets word back that you finished the job, he could call them back, or you could take them back. Or if you decided to just run off with them, there's already like an automatic beacon in them to send them back to him
Wasn't
after a
this the
certain
first
amount of time.
outing for these horses too?
Yes.
So I'll leave a message with Zeeth for Malachi. Worked like a charm. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Nice. Cool. All right.
5-star
In the
review on
mean-
Yelp or whatever it is. Yeah.
In the meantime, as well, I'll specifically look for metal-tipped bolts for a hand crossbow, if I can.
Yeah,
Good.
you'd be able to get those. We'll say if you want to buy like bolts for the hand crossbow, it would probably
Mhm.
be about we'll call it 5 silver for a pack of 10.
Okay, I'll get like. Oh goodness me. So that'd be 5 gold. Sure, I'll get a pack of like 100 of them.
Okay.
Specifically metal tips for heat metal shenanigans is what my brain is
Yep.
doing.
Sounds good.
So
Yeah, easy enough. All right. What about our adventuring plans? Got to think about those.
So we're going over.
Over the
mountain.
mountain straight to Gellen. I
Okay.
think is the plan. Short and
We
simple.
have the necessary tools, thanks to Grimm's brother. I believe everybody should have enough
Yep.
climbing equipment.
So I'll tell you what you got
Yeah.
in general. Each person is going to have 10 pythons. So those are the things that you nail into the wall and kind of give you a grip on as you're escalating sheer cliff.
I didn't know what those actually were meant for
Yeah.
until like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've been playing D&D for so long, I had no freaking clue.
Yeah, same. Did not occur to me. And then each of you gets 200 feet of rope each. So a longer rope than what would normally be giving. And then each of you are given snowshoes / like climbing shoes with spikes in them that it will help you, when you get into higher and higher points, get across the snow and or nail yourself against a cliff or something like that. There are no extra rations or anything. It's mostly just equipment for climbing. So you also each get a hammer for the pitons, whatever you call them, as well, just to make sure you can all nail them in.
All right, let's go.
All right. You guys kind of
Onward.
find yourself. Do you want to leave the town, and then find a accessible area, or do you just want to like find a spot near the town and start climbing?
I'd say we go find an accessible spot because we definitely need the equipment the higher we go.
I agree.
So,
All right, let's.
Now, as we're traveling, seemingly out of nowhere, a horse made of shadow, black with a white mane, appears kind of underneath me. So this is the ability I got at level 5. It's called the Phantom Steed.
Ooh, there's an attachment.
Well,
Oh, hell
little
yeah.
flavor text. So that's me when I'm riding it.
Nice.
Pretty sick.
what?
That's dope as hell.
Noise.
Do you all like my horse?
Can I ride?
Sure, I'm sure Al Capone wouldn't mind another rider.
I was about to ask the
Dick.
horse's name.
Oh my god.
Oh, Lord.
Pony for short.
Pony
Al
for sure.
Capone.
Al Capone.
Does he prefer pony or owl?
Capone.
Capone.
Pony.
It's gotta be full.
Mhm.
Fair enough.
Got to use his full Christian name.
Full.
Yeah.
God-given Al Capone.
Yeah.
But yes, let's look for next steps.
All right. Everyone give me some survival checks as you're kind of searching around along this mountain one way or the other to find a good spot for you to go up. Let's go in order. Eric, what do you got?
11.
Brenin,
What am I rolling?
survival.
12.
Odavius,
Natural 20
hell yeah.
for a
And
27.
Miss Primrose,
5.
nice, great. All right, Odavius, you out of all the people seem to find, as you're moving along, did you want to go north or south? from the
We're pretty
mountains.
even with. Were we even with Gellen, or we were north of?
Pretty even, maybe a little bit north.
Yeah, so we'll head south
Okay.
just a little bit.
You head south for a bit, and Odavius, as you're moving around, you actually find maybe what used to be a path through the mountains way long ago. That seems to lead pretty well up into the mountains. Nice little side street of things that you're
Two
doing.
paths merged in the woods, and I took the one less traveled.
Very nice. As you continue crawling up the mountain path, you guys notice a couple things that happen. As you're climbing in altitude and things, you're beginning to feel the chill of everything beginning
Warm
to hit
cloak.
you a little bit more. You have warm cloaks on, but you definitely know, especially, faces exposed, that the cold air is hitting you a little bit harder than usual. You also notice that it seems to take a little bit longer for you to do things as the air gets thinner and thinner as you travel higher and higher. As you continue moving up the mountains, I would like everyone to make some perception checks. We'll go in order. Auran.
4.
Nice. Brenin.
7.
Odavius.
15.
And Primrose.
13.
13. All right. I'll say Odavius and Primrose, as you're moving along, you're actually seeing some of the cave drakes that you saw inside the mountains seeming to come out from the ground around you and moving around on top of the mountain as well as they did beneath it. They seem to be burrowing holes, and you notice quite a few just random digging spots around, even into like the sheer rock instead of the dirt that they've dug a couple of places in and out of. And as you ascend further and further, you guys do end up in a place where the road kind of tapers out a little bit, and you are met with some more just wall cliffs. And there's some spaces that you can find where you could walk around, but it would definitely take a lot longer. So as you're walking, I would like everyone to make some either nope, I'm going to be pretty specific about this one. Make some acrobatics checks as you're finding the path thinning and thinning and thinning as you move further along.
I'm okay with this.
Let's go in order. Auran, what do you got?
4.
Oh, jeez. Brenin.
9.
Odavius.
12.
12. And then Primrose.
22.
Okay. You guys, I'll say you didn't screw up. You had more successes. You had equal success and failure. So, you guys are struggling, Brenin and Auran especially, as you like try and find your footing along this area, back and forth, walking along this path. Not enough to like just fall off a cliffside, but it's getting worse and worse. As you come to an area, you have a just sheer cliff in front of you and no other place to go at this point. So, what would you like to do at this sheer cliff?
This is
I
less
climbing,
my
I
strong
guess.
suit.
All right.
I will take the lead for climbing.
Okay.
With my gloves of swimming and climbing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
+5 bonus to any athletics checks made to climb or swim. So I'll do my best to try to get pittons and rope set up as best
How
as I
tall
can.
is this cliff?
The cliff is probably about 50 feet up.
Mm-hmm.
What are grappling?
I'm gonna sit down and just watch
Grappling gun.
Brenin work. They're like, you got this.
You do have grappling guns, and we'll say you got, stuff to fill them again after using them the first time. So if you would like to use grappling guns, you could.
Do you want to save those for later? 50 feet doesn't seem like the tallest cliff we're gonna climb.
Should be okay. So, do you want me to do a check for
Yeah,
anything
go ahead,
as
give
I
me
set up?
an athletics check for climbing with +5 because of your gloves.
13. 25.
Oh yeah, easy enough. You just go up and putting pittons in right as you go up.
Yep.
All right. Make a real nice path for everyone to have nice footholds as you go up and reach the top. Give me a perception check as you reach the top.
50.
All right. Towards the bottom as you reach the top, you notice a small scuffle happening between some earth elementals and some of the cave drakes. They seem to be fighting back and forth, and you see one earth elemental actually just take like a rock and just smash one of the cave drakes. And the cave drakes scamper off after this happens, but there's 2 elementals and there are about 5 cave drakes that have now fled.
Okay. And that's like on the other side of where
Yep,
we've
so
been climbing up.
you got up to the cliff, and they're kind of, I would say, probably about 200, 300 feet away from you, off in the distance, on the other side of the cliff.
Okay. I will let people know once they get up here.
I will say, everyone else, your DC has been lowered by quite a bit due to the pittance. Can you roll an athletics check for me?
I was gonna try and argue acrobatics, but I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah, this is
Everybody
going to be
has,
just straight climbing.
Climbing shoes, though, right? Didn't
Yep.
we get
Mm-hmm.
any benefit from that, or is that?
Yeah, the
actually
DC
part
is
of the
dramatically
DC?
lowered because of all the equipment you have, for sure.
Okay.
So,
Dramatic's going to be
Auran-
necessary.
Auran,
9.
9, you make it.
8.
8, you make it. Primrose?
4.
Primrose struggles a bit trying to climb up the area and does not seem to get up quite yet. Or Brenin, I'll say as Primrose is struggling to climb up this cliff, you notice that the elementals now take notice of you guys as Auran and Odavius reached the top of the cliff with Primrose down at the bottom, and they seem to be moving towards your direction. These elementals, I'll describe them a bit. It is literally like a block of stone and some smaller stones underneath it that are moving of their own accord. They don't have actual legs. It's just them floating on the ground with stones hovering beneath them, as well as just large stone arms that hang on and grab to things. And they seem to be moving towards you.
Quick, does anyone speak Earth Elemental?
Both of you keep an eye out while I help Prim. I'm going to scuttle down. And
I'll take a few steps toward them in a peaceful, whatever an Earth Elemental would deem peaceful
All right.
gesture.
Fair enough.
We're already fighting.
All right. Let's do real quick. We'll say, Brenin, you can help her. Easy enough. So we'll say, Primrose, roll athletics with advantage. And then...
Oh, okay. Natural 20.
Natural 20, perfect. And then Brenin, give me another athletics check, even though it's not really going to matter unless you get a 1.
21.
21. Okay, there you go. All right. Yeah, you guys, we'll get back to you in a second, as the climbing is going to take a little bit longer than you guys have. Auran, as you approach them in a peaceful manner, are you saying anything, or are you just kind of like hands up, walking?
Gentlemen, wonderful to see you.
They slowly get probably within about 50 or so feet of you, and you hear just a gravelly voice just come in throughout. They don't have any lips, just throughout the area, and the rest of you kind of hear this too. What business do you have in the mountains?
We are just passing through. We mean you no harm. Beautiful mountain you have.
You must pay a tithe.
Why on earth would we do that? And to what?
For tribute to pass the mountain.
This feels like a shakedown. And I'll wink at him.
You must pay tribute or you must be injured.
What would the tribute be?
What do you have to offer us?
How many are there?
There's only 2 elementals.
What would the tithe be going to?
Towards our treasury.
So much treasure around Auran. Now he wants to explore.
How are the guys behind? I'm going to kind of look over my shoulder. How are the allies doing?
Odavius is up. Odavius is preparing a spell just in case. Brenin and Primrose have not come up yet. I'll say they're probably about halfway up the mountain at this point.
Tell me more about your treasury, please. I'm trying to bide time.
We do not discuss our treasures, we take them.
Are you 2 brothers? You look alike.
We are related by the earth and stone.
That's great. Which mountain are you from? Oh, is it that one over there?
All of them. And as Primrose and Brenin eventually come up.
Unfortunately, gentlemen, I think we're freshly out of tithings.
Then you must die.
I'll take it out.
Let's roll initiative for this. I'll bring up the camera here.
Oh my god.
Is it possible to get a round off since I said I was preparing?
Yeah, what did you want to prepare? Sorry, I kind of...
Okay, so my
Skipped over
question is, Ray of Enfeeblement says
Ray of Enfeeblement, okay.
it on a hit, the target deals only half damage with weapon attacks that use strength. If they're not using a weapon, does it still count if they're using strength? Because I assume these guys use strength.
Say that one more time.
So Ray of Enfeeblement says, on a hit, the target deals only half damage with weapon attacks that use strength until the spell ends.
Yeah, this
Is that
would
only if they're using a weapon, or will unarmed melee
it would-
attacks still?
yeah,
be
it would
effective?
count for
Unarmed
this as well.
considered
Yeah.
melee
Okay.
weapon.
hmm
So, am I within 60 feet of them? Oh, I guess I would have probably moved forward with Auran. So I will I want to do a ray of enfeeblement on one of them.
All right, give me a second to set some stuff up here. Oh Lord, all of my things are away. Oh Lord. Sorry, I should have prepared better for this. Everything's
Hey.
away.
Is that a fruit and grain bar?
Doot.
It
And
better
then maybe
be raspberry flavored. No.
raspberry.
Ooh,
Yeah,
we're looking
the
at your
fruit and grain bar.
fruit and grain bar.
Oh God, yeah.
Raspberry flavored.
How
I had to eat
embarrassing,
that
right?
one. Yeah. Oh man. Jeez. All right. So we'll say you guys are right here. I think I got all the right dice out, but we'll see.
Was
We'll
there
say.
a pink one?
Were you a pink one?
I think so. At least that's what I remember.
Here,
But
I'll
I
let
could
you
be
be
wrong.
this pink one.
Yeah.
So we'll say Brenin, Primrose, Odavius. What the fuck your name is? Auran. That dude.
Nina,
What do you say fuck me for?
And then the two elementals, we'll say they got about 25 feet away from you at this point. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. About right there. The two of them there. So, let me pull up my stat block for them.
do they look the same, or does one look stronger than the other?
They look pretty much the same. They don't
Okay.
seem to be any different from things. Sorry, give me 1 second. There it is. If things will work slowly, son of a bitch, things aren't taking too long. There we go. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. So, go ahead. Which one are you going to hit with your Ray of Enfeeblement, Odavius?
I will do the silver looking one there.
Silver looking one. All right. Do you just attack or do I got to roll?
I have to attack.
right.
That is a 14 to hit.
14? That unfortunately misses.
Yeah.
These guys are pretty heavily armored, consider their earthly form. So, after that, we start initiative. So, what did we roll? I gotta get my freaking notebooks out. Oh god, I got too much shit. Alrighty. So, 25 to 20 with initiatives.
24.
24. Alright. So we got Primrose to start. 20 to 15. Whoop. Shoot. 15 to 10.
14
I also had a 14
Okay. Whose dex is higher?
plus 2.
plus 1.
Alright. Auran first. And then Odavius. Brennan, what did you roll?
4.
Wow, okay. Alright.
Always got to keep the best for last, you know.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Primrose, what are you doing? You just climbed up the mountain, kind of heavily breathing after this point. What do you want to do?
I
You see
see.
these elementals coming at you.
They're being aggressive. I'll be like, do you think stones feel heartache? Or nah? Fuck it. I'll do something else, though. I'll say, does one of you want to get close to them? Is that on anybody's agenda?
Getting there.
I am going to then. I'm gonna load my crossbow, my hand crossbow, with a metal bolt.
Okay.
And then I hope it doesn't burn after just 6 seconds. I'm going to cast Heat Metal on the bolt.
Okay.
But I'm not going to shoot this turn because that's an action and then an action. So I'm basically preparing for next turn to shoot a fiery bolt of metal. You let me know if this doesn't work, but that is my plan. It is
The bolt?
a weapon is dropped, but it's not the weapon, it's the bolt.
I would say you'd have to shoot it at the thing first, so it's embedded, and then heat it
And
up
then-
if you want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That works for me. I will a bonus action then.
You haven't used your action yet. Loading up isn't an
yeah.
action, so you got your action.
I'm probably gonna hold my action to shoot until someone gets within 5 feet of one of them,
Okay, sounds good.
and then I will bonus action inspire Brenin.
Inspired.
You
Little
got
tap
some
on the butt.
inspiration.
All right. After that,
Thanks for
Auran,
that.
what are you doing?
Prefer with 25 feet?
All right. 5, 10.
No, I was asking our distance.
Yes, 25 feet. Yep.
All right. I will cast Classic Grim Harvest on the orange one. And
Grim Harvest
since
Orange.
we're level 5, I get to do 2 of them with one action instead of just with the one.
Nice.
So hit him with 2 spell attack. A natural 20
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
and 16.
Yeah, both of those will hit.
Nice. All right, we'll do one at a time here. These dice are not easy to tell what dice is what. Okay. Plus wisdom. So the crit is 14 points of
14.
necrotic damage.
Nice.
The non-crit is 7 points of necrotic damage.
Solid. Yeah, good fucking hit there.
And then their roll is going to be reduced, their next roll, by 4.
4. Okay.
Orange's next roll.
Orange's next roll, -4. All right. Anything else for you, Auran?
That's it.
All right, Odavius, what are you doing? Your ray of enfeeblement kind of shoots out and kind of just glances off one of their shoulders. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna guiding bolt the same one,
Guiding bolt? Which one?
the one that I attacked the first time.
The silver one?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll that.
Ah, that is much better. That is a 24.
Oh yeah, that'll hit the silver one.
Beautimus. $11 damage, and whoever attacks that one next has advantage.
Nice. It is now the elemental's turn. They're going to move up. Actually, wait. Yeah. They'll move up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. All the way up to the both of you. I'll
One of them's
say,
in range.
yeah, I'll say go ahead and shoot that crossbow bolt. They're going to have half cover based on where you're shooting at right now.
Sure.
So +2 AC.
What? I don't attack very often, just in general. But that's a 24 to hit.
That'll hit. Which one are you hitting? Orange or silver?
I'll do orange.
Orange.
And 1d6. And then I also get a sneak attack dice now.
Yay!
Because I'm multi-class.
Roguey multi-class.
That was crazy. That was max damage on the dice for a total
Nice.
of 15 damage.
15, solid. Nice. All right, after that happens, they have a crossbow bolt embedded in their stony carapace, whatever you want to say. Whoop, drop this up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's going to be a couple of slam attacks. So, 2 slam attacks against Auran. One is a 18,
Yeah.
and the other one is a dirty 20.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Grab these out. Boop. 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 Shoot. You take 17 points of bludgeoning damage as they just take both their fists, just boom, boom,
Yeah,
into your
damn.
forearm. And then against Odavius, one is an 8, the other is a 10.
Both fists.
All right, this slamming, dodging left and right from the slams. All right, after that we have Brenin.
I do have one question.
Yeah.
Since I've already had my turn and I've already done a spell, would I have been able to do a reaction spell if they?
Yes.
I would have. Okay.
Yep. So if you wanted to do a Hellish Rebuke or something like that, yeah, you can do that all in the same round. You just can't do 2 spells on the same turn thing. Yep. All right, Brenin, what are you doing?
All right. Well, I was gonna save this for Lotus if I saw him again, but I guess we'll do it now. Moonbeam.
Oh shit! All right, is that part of your oath?
That
Paladin?
is Oath of the Watchers.
That's cool as shit. Hell yeah! All right, so it's a 5-foot pillar, right?
5-foot radius.
So it can cover both of them, right?
It should.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that'd be 10 feet diameter. Yeah, math.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got both of them there. They need to make what save?
Con. So
Con
they'll probably
save.
succeed.
Yeah, they're pretty good at con stuff.
14.
Oh, they're both 17s.
Yeah, they succeed.
Also, I
They
just
will-
like I'm not sponsored by these folks, but I just like to shout them out. It doesn't really matter that much. I'm using my coffee dice. So I buy coffee from a coffee company called Many Worlds Tavern, and with each order they send like a dice and like a fancy magic item like sheet.
That's cool.
And they're dope as hell. So they're cool. Check them out, anyone who's listening. They have great coffee. Anyways,
Not sponsored. Please sponsor us.
not sponsored, please sponsor, because coffee companies are cool. But they send cool dice like every time, and they're like super like sparkly and cool things like that. So just shouting them out because I'm just using their dice exclusively tonight. Anyways, Brenin, what are you doing?
Remind me, do we round up or round down with damage?
We round. I don't know. Let's round down.
up.
I don't
Oh,
know.
sure.
We'll say down. 5.
11 points of damage, so I'll round it down to 5.
5 points of damage to both, and that stays up, right?
Yep. I am
Alrighty.
concentrating.
Yeah, you guys see this beam of light just whoosh down, kind of sparkles off in the distance.
I hope you're watching, Lotus.
And
This
if
could have been you.
And if they had a changed form, they would change back into it. But they're Earth Elementals, always going to be Earth Elementals. Alrighty. After that, we go back up to Primrose. What are you doing?
All right, is that bolt still stuck in that one Earth Elemental?
It is.
All right, I'm gonna heat metal that bolt, baby.
All right, heat metal that bolt.
My new favorite spell.
It is
Right,
right. It just
any
happens.
creature in physical contact with object takes 2d8 fire damage when I cast a spell. Till it ends, I can use a bonus action on each of my turns to do the damage again.
Okay.
So 2d8 when I cast the spell is 6 damage, 6
Okay.
fire damage, I believe. And then I'm gonna move. We'll go right behind Auran. Give him a little butt tap as I give him some inspiration.
All right. I will say, you notice that the bolt ends up burning away after heat metal, making it non-viable
Cool.
for future uses.
Okay. So it's a 1-and-1.
Kind of a 1-in-1 thing.
Sure.
Yeah. It's heat metal is definitely one of those things where, like, if you have a guy in a suit of metal, great, but all other
Well, I wanna-
planets is kind of hard.
Well, that's why I want to try and make a fancy sword that I can use, but
Fair enough.
Yeah. we'll figure it out later.
Yeah, we can workshop it. All right. After that, anything else?
I'll probably continue north, and then north a square, and then northeast 1 square.
Boop.
Yeah, I'll go right there, and then that'll be it.
All right, Auran, what are you doing? You got an inspiration.
Ah, 56, correct?
Uh,
56?
I believe it's still a D6. Yeah,
I can't
still
remember.
D6.
I don't play enough bards to know.
Yeah, I didn't
I'm
level up
gonna-
Bard, so shouldn't have changed.
I'm gonna shed my Athena suit and go into phantom form.
Oh no, Athena.
Athena, she's dead.
She died again. God damn it.
I'll use a double one to make sure it's more easy tellable. All right.
I'm gonna use one of my new abilities. Unless they're gonna attack Athena, you might just want to move her body off because it's about to get.
Okay, fair enough.
We're gonna need markers for me. So I'm gonna use one of
boy.
my tier 2 Doom abilities called Ghost Copy.
Okay.
So I whip my hands out to the side and I create 2 identical images of my ghost form.
Okay.
And I get to choose which image is the real me upon casting. So I just kind of show up 5 feet away on both sides. So I'll be the one closest to Prim.
About like that.
Let's have it go in front of me. So it's like we're like surrounded,
Boop.
like right there.
All right.
And I'll be the back one like that. And then how all in do I want to go? No, we're gonna. I'm gonna have the green one because they act on my initiative. I'm gonna have the green one float around to flank the orange one.
Boop.
Yep,
All right. Anything else?
that's it. That's all.
Okay. Odavius.
I'm gonna do my newly learned inflict wound, which is a melee spell attack.
You're gonna do say that one more time.
I'm going to do inflict wounds.
Oh
which is
shit!
my
All
newly
right.
learned melee spell attack.
Nice. Against silver one still.
Yeah,
All right. Go for it.
natural 20.
Oh shit!
Oh,
This
God.
might be a big because inflict wounds is a nasty spell. Go ahead, roll those dice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, this might suck for him.
Where's another D10? There we go. All right. So that's 17, 19 times dose, which would be 38 damage.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt him quite a bit.
Bam.
He was, just to give you an idea, he was around like. He was so much better than his friend, and he is now below his friend in hit points. Like, whew. Yeah, that's not good.
I wish that
Shit,
other dice was higher.
math. Yeah. All right.
Is the I'm sorry, I just noticed. Is your little copy behind the Earth Golem now?
Yes.
Yep. So copy.
One of those would be in the moonbeam. The green one would be in the moonbeam.
Oh, well, I wouldn't move it into the moonbeam. I didn't realize that there was a moonbeam there.
Yeah. Sorry. I can.
Yeah.
Little moonbeam right here.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just leave them there then.
Okay. All right. That'll do a ton of damage. You guys see Odavius just reach out and grab onto the earth elemental and utter some magic words, and you see just black necrotic energy spread across the earth elemental. Nice. Anything else, Odavius?
Sick.
Nope.
All right.
Hold on. Odavius, isn't Inflict Wounds a touch spell?
Yeah.
Yep. Odavius is right here.
Oh, I got them confused.
You're
Would
good.
I-
Carry forward.
Reaching into the moonbeam.
No.
No, not
That would-
so
that
much
would
with
suck.
that. No. Yeah, you're good. All right. It is the Earth Elemental's turn. Oh
Con saves.
yeah, con saves. Shit.
It's the first time. It's when they enter the spell or the start of their turn.
Or?
One rolled a 13.
Fail.
The other one rolled a 21.
The total damage is 8. radiant.
8. So I'll just distribute that. So half damage to the silver one and full damage to the orange one. We'll see. Alrighty. They're going to slam. Well, there's going to be 2 slams on Odavius for sure. Whoop, those aren't good. One is a 7, the other is an 18. Odavius?
18 hits. The 7 does not.
Alright, you take 12 points of damage as it just
Ugh.
into you.
Hellish Rebuke.
Hellish Rebuke? Okay, that's a dex save for me, right?
Hold on. Let me look.
Yeah. Dex.
Yeah.
Alright, that save is a... They don't have great dex, but it's still a 15.
Yeah, it passes.
Passes, so half damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, might kill it with half damage, honestly. This one's not looking happy.
That is 6 damage for 3.
For 3 damage, so 3 damage total? Okay.
Yes.
Still up, but looking very rough, that silver one is.
Yeah.
Auran,
Sorry.
for
Did it hit him
yours...
twice?
What?
Did it hit him twice?
Yeah.
Oh. Shit.
Well, it technically hit him once.
Oh, yeah, it hit him only once.
Can I have my image do a reaction? I meant to do that
Oh, shit,
when it
yeah.
hits him.
Go for it.
So my image has a reaction where I can have it dive in the wave and attack that is targeting me or an ally no more than 10 feet from the image. So they're going to subtract X plus their phantom level damage from the damage roll. So X for me is 4 plus my phantom level is 5, so 9 points subtracted from the damage.
Okay, so only 4 damage then.
3. You did 12.
12 minus 4. You're right. 3 damage. Yep.
So I only had 3 damage.
Yep.
So
You
the
only
image
took 3
kinda, like,
damage. Yeah.
dives in the wave and takes the damage instead.
Does
of
that get rid of the image?
It doesn't, but the damage goes to it. It has a AC and hit points,
Gotcha. Okay.
so it's weakened.
Seeing that there's a bunch of friends around it, it's going to do 1 slam against the white here, and then 1 slam against you itself, Auran.
Okay.
Did anybody attack the silver one before I did?
Not
Yeah.
really. Not a whole lot,
Mm.
but kind of, yes.
Well, it had damage on it.
yeah. Against
I
you...
just didn't know if you had taken the advantage of it happening.
Oh, for guiding bolts.
For Guiding
Yeah.
Bolt.
Or
Eh.
was that me that took that?
Yeah, I would say it would have been you, but you already rolled a natural 20, so it didn't
That's
matter.
true. It doesn't matter.
Against Auran is a natural 1. Against this white ghost, that is a 19.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Hang in there, Ghost.
For 15 points of damage.
Oh, it's dead.
Boop. Away. All right.
Oh no!
Brenin, you're up next.
I guess I'll take the spot where the phantom disappeared.
Boop.
I'll take 1 swing at the silver one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So 15 to hit.
That will unfortunately miss.
Okay.
Just barely.
That's fine, because I got another one.
5th level, 2 attacks. Bonk bonk.
19 to hit.
19, that'll do it. Swinging, hacking at the stone.
9 points of damage.
Oh yeah, that one is dead. How do you want to kill that one?
It's just gonna be a straight
Cleave
slice
it.
down. Takes a sec.
Stone cracks through in half and kind of just splinters off either side. Falls to the ground with a solid thud. All right. One more left. He's not looking too great either. Primrose, what are you doing?
I'll pivot around behind him. However, I get there, I want to end up like 3 squares east of him.
So
Directly.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. About there?
Yeah,
Perfect.
that works. And then I will shoot him with my crossbow.
Shoot him with the crossbow.
That is a 25, I think.
Yeah,
I'm making
that'll,
on the dice. So.
that'll definitely do it.
Okay, and then 2d6 plus 3 is 11 damage.
11. He's still up
Bonus.
by 1 hit point.
I was gonna say it sounds like 1 hit point, DM.
Yeah.
No matter
He's-
what happens,
When he
is
starts his
dead when he
turn.
starts.
Mhm.
Yeah, in the moonbeam. So I'll just sit there and smile.
All
You
right.
can all
Admiring
start
the work.
walking away. Disengage, walk away. We don't even care about him no more.
Auran, what are you doing?
When is he in initiative?
He is after Odavius, so it's you, Odavius, and then the elementals.
I'll swing at him with my blade.
All right, let's go ahead and swing.
16.
16. That just barely hits. Yeah. How do you want to? Do you just want to chop this one in half? How do you want to kill him?
I'll push it over with my long sword so the moonbeam just like fries him.
Oh yeah, just and eventually just like burns away with radiant energy and things like that. As you guys finish off these earth elementals pretty easily. All right. Continuing forward.
My ghosty boy stays with me too, so I just have a mirror image. So I'll go back into Athena, but I still have
A little
a
ghost
ghosty image
following
just
along.
following me.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm just gonna push the ghost into the moonbeam.
No,
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
Make a con save for your ghost.
it will
Can we take a
resist.
quick break here?
Out of game break.
Yeah,
Do we need a break?
I need to go for a second.
All right, let's take a quick break.
Cool.
Be back soon.
Yay.
Whoop. Alrighty. Back into it. Everything's still working? Alright. Cool. So, we just left off with the elementals. Sorry, gathering my bearings again. Continuing, this would be westward, having the map in mind. Towards your way, I'd like everyone to make a survival check to make sure that you're kind of following a set path of where you're at.
My strong suit, wisdom.
Yeah, let's go opposite order this time. Primrose, what do you got?
4.
Nice. Odavius.
17.
Nice. Brenin.
Nat 1.
Whew. Auran.
I mean, you might technically still have inspiration, but
It doesn't count.
Yeah,
Nat 1.
No. Auran. Got a survival check for me?
21.
Nice. All right. With that, Auran, you're kind of able to make sure you're following the right path, following the sun as your guidance and direction. Auran, I'll also say you're noticing a lot of movement around these mountains. You're seeing the footsteps, quote unquote, of the earth elementals that you may have just gotten rid of, as well as the claw and grip marks of the cave drakes as they're beginning to move back and forth deep into the ground. Given the progression of the day, we're now reaching to the end of the night. As you begin to bed and camp down, how would you like to set up your camp while you're in these mountains?
I mean, is there any like trees around? I imagine
Nope,
maybe not.
not at all.
Yeah, they're not foresty mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like some sort of rock that has like a little space underneath it?
You can find some sort of shelter here and there, but not great ones.
Fair enough.
Probably anything where we can have our back to a solid
Back to a
surface would
solid
be
surface.
great.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easy enough to find some sort of thing as you start bedding down for the night. Okay.
I will, I'm gonna pop a cure wounds into myself. And I will take first watch.
Okay. First watch, Odavius. Who else? Who's going next?
I'll go.
All right. And then, who else? Who next? We need at least 3.
I can. You really don't want me to.
I would technically have disadvantage when it's dark. I don't
Fair.
have dark vision,
Mhm.
so if you could take the third, I'll take the last.
All right. Let's go. Odavius, roll perception check.
That's tough. Oh. $15.
15. You notice off in the distance, they're kind of staying away from your camp here and there, but the cave drakes and some earth elementals off in the distance, moving about, changing places, digging, burrowing. Some earth elementals seem to just sink into the ground and then pop up a few feet later in different areas, but none that seem to be coming towards you at any rate at this point. As you go, wake up Auran. Auran, give me a perception check.
Holy moly. Perception?
Yep.
21.
Hell yeah. Auran, you're kind of seeing the same thing Odavius did. Same thing, cave drakes, earth elementals, all sorts of things kind of moving out in the distance. One thing you notice that's slightly different from Odavius is that there seems to be a constant rumbling underneath you, underneath the earth that you're sitting on. It's not intense, it's not like an earthquake, but it's just a constant low hum of a rumble happening underneath you.
Can I put my ear to the stone?
Sure. We'll say, give me a survival check. Nice. You just really hear a rumbling. It's kind of just a slow vibration. You're not quite sure to tell if it's like a creature or just a natural rock slide or something like that. It's just constant rumbling happening underneath you. And then we end with Primrose. Give me a perception check.
Alrighty. Oh, 18.
Not bad.
For me, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Primrose, you don't notice that rumbling that Auran felt. And at this point in time, all the other creatures have kind of died down and found their way in the places in the mountains of various, regard and stuff. And then morning arises, and the sun begins rising once more, and you all are awakened. Anything specific you want to do before you leave?
Not particularly.
How many days travel? Do we have any sense on how long it should take this?
I want to say we discussed and it was going to be about, like, a week. I'd have to double check that in the episode.
It sounds about right.
Yeah.
We'll see. But as you guys begin moving along your day, going along, give me survival checks as you continue kind of traversing this area.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Nat 20.
Holy shit.
And I'm proficient in survival, so.
Mm-hmm.
So
Same.
My 0 doesn't matter.
0 got canceled out, luckily. Or
13.
13. All right, you guys are able to find like a really nice path all the way through this, kind of avoiding some of the pitfalls and other places that might give you trouble in this, rocky, rugged terrain area. Everyone make perception checks as you get further and further up into the mountains.
11.
11. Let's go Primrose.
17.
And then Odavius.
21.
Nice. And then Auran.
5.
All right. Odavius, you're picking up that same vibration that Auran felt
Ooh.
underneath your feet as you guys are walking.
Does it feel any louder, heavier? No? Nothing?
Nope, it's just a near constant just rumbling underneath your feet, kind of moving.
Okay.
All right.
Can I, Just to be safe, can I pop into Eyes of the Grave?
Eyes of the Grave. You don't.
Yeah.
It's undead. Fiends are undead.
It's just mine's just undead.
Okay. You don't get a sense of undead besides Auran popping off next to you. As you continue further, I would like everyone to make Constitution saving throws as the air gets thinner and thinner and your travel gets harder and harder the higher up in the mountains you get. So we'll go with Odavius first.
14.
How much?
14.
14. That's a pass. Brenin.
About 20.
Pass. Primrose.
19.
Pass. Auran.
10.
10. That's just what you needed to pass. So you're
All right.
You're all set. So, you do not take that point of exhaustion, any of you. But as you continue to climb higher and higher in these mountains, it's going to get harder and harder for you to breathe. Just so you're aware of what might happen here.
Mm-hmm.
And you begin moving up towards the mountains, traversing pretty well across the entire way thanks to your survival checks. Until you come across a gathering of cave drakes that are busy burrowing out a large hole in front of you. There seems to be about 10 of them, we'll say. And they seem to all be working together to burrow out a hole in the side of the mountain.
Are there any other holes?
There,
Same,
yeah,
similar
you've been seeing these smaller holes. This one seems odd in the fact that all of them are like working and trying to dig something out here at this point.
Kind of weird. Does anyone
This
speak Drake?
intrigues me. I don't know what Drake speak.
Throwing us in the... Well, maybe. I'll yell out, "Hey, Intraconic."
There's a small, like, weird part of your brain that just, like, clicks as you say these words. And you almost do it without, like, thinking about the words you're saying. But you all hear Brennan's voice shoot out, and he says, in a very, like, guttural and harsh word, speaks out, and all the cave drakes just turn and look.
I understand him because I speak Draconic.
Yeah, you've been around, you've heard this enough, and you've kind of, it's one of those things like, he's done it just randomly to explain how you know different languages. It's just like you know it, and it comes out of you for some reason. They all kind of look towards you. Kind of, you don't see them speaking in Draconic with each other, but they're looking at each other, a little confused.
Well, if they can't speak, that might make it more difficult. What's your goal? Why are you guys digging this large hole?
Let me go see if they can speak. Hold on.
Yeah. I don't think so, but... I want them to combine into one giant
Yes.
shadow puppet.
Absolutely. I believe
3
this is right.
kobolds in a trench coat.
Yes.
I want to control the drakes, like the... what is it? The, Pied Piper.
Yes, with a little flute and everything.
Rat, yeah.
They do not speak this. Hold on, let me double check.
I wonder if they even understand Draconic either.
Hold on, let me see if I can. They do speak. And in Draconic back, they say, "We are unearthing him."
Unearthing
Him?
who?
The one
Or,
below.
yes, King of the Worms. King
The
of the
one-
Worms.
The one below. Is this different than the King of the Mountain?
I don't know of King of the Mountain, but our brother is trapped. We are trying to help him.
Brother? What brother?
Brother as in Drake or Draconic?
Correct.
How far below is he?
Hard to say. We must dig more.
Is that what's making the rumbling?
Are all the Drakes working together for this goal, or just your group?
He has called for us to help him, so we are helping.
Well, that's
good.
Concerning.
I got a bad feeling.
A giant dragon's gonna pop up in between the two nations. That's
I'm curious to see how this plays out.
I'm not sure what our group can do about it.
They have been trapped down there for a long time. They cannot
They,
move.
I'm sorry, they.
He, she, we're not sure.
Okay, so you still mean singular. There
Yes.
aren't multiple. Okay, that's where I got a concern.
Thousands of dragons just out of the mountains.
Tiamat with 1,000 heads.
Are they digging
exactly.
like straight stone? Digging it
Yep.
out of straight stone?
Mhm.
No.
Well, we don't want to disturb you much more than we've already done so. Do you know of a good route to get through to the other side of the mountain range?
Route. I want to stay here and see what happens.
Do you want to stick around for them unearthing the dragon?
Wow,
Or
we
do
don't
you-
know it's a dragon. I want to see what
It will
is.
take a long time for you to wait around. We are in the process, and they kind of like gesture with their heads over towards several of the holes that that are kind of around.
They'll be ready in about 10 levels.
Yes, correct. If
Holy
you would
cow.
like a path through the mountain, what do you have to give us to take our break from unearthing our fellow?
What do you like?
We like earth and ore and digging.
You just had to get rid of that eye.
Hey, I was gonna give it away. That was my main goal. I was gonna give away the ore for the miners.
I don't think we need to disturb their work. We can just find our own path. A couple of us are pretty survivally bitches.
I'll give them the 2 things of chain. So 20 feet of chain.
20 feet of chain. You see them kind of sniff around it for a second, and then a couple of them just take large chomps and eat it and munch on it. A few of us will remain, but we will guide you partway through the mountain. And you just see at the end of them, like, chomping and eating the chain, it is just gone.
Nice.
That is the happiest cat ever.
Oh, come with us. And they begin walking. These drakes, just to describe them again, they have some eyes, but they're very, very small, as with most like cave-dwelling creatures and mountain-dwelling creatures for digging in purposes, staying in the dark a lot. But they are kind of covered in very slick scales, but also have very large claws to use for digging. They have 4 legs as drakes do, but then they also have a subset of legs that come out of their backs that also help them with digging and moving large stones and things, almost like wings that just got turned to an extra set of arms, essentially. So, we'll say about 3 of them join you and begin guiding you over around the path. You see that a large ravine that would have blocked your progress before, um, they show you kind of an easy way of path around it and kind of avoid it and make your way through. Um, After a couple hours of travel, they kind of look around.
If it's okay, I wanted to ask them, what do you know what this king of what did they call it? The Lord of what?
The
Dragon
Underground?
below.
The
Yeah.
Lord below.
The
Lord
Lord below. Can you describe the Lord below to us?
Well, he is one like us. He has been calling to us and asking for assistance. We must dig him out.
Okay.
He speaks our language like you do.
Thank God we did not go below.
Yeah,
Good thing we didn't try to dig through.
that would have been a problem.
Do you fight? Also, do you fight with the earth elementals? Are you fighting over land?
They come into our territory often enough. They wish to keep the mountains as they are, but we wish to dig.
So the Lord below and the King of the Mountains are going to be at odds. A turf war. A gang war. Interesting.
Well, we must leave you here. We must return to digging before time is lost.
Thank you.
Farewell on your travels. And you see them just whoop, straight into the ground, burrow down, and begin moving around the other way.
They were kind of cute.
A little.
Was that? I can't tell if that was my draconic mind thinking that or not.
Never know. All right. You guys continue for a while along your path and can rest up for the night. But I'm going to go ahead and call this one here. Might end it a little bit early.
Fair
So
enough.
this is the end of your second day of travel. Probably got like 4 or 5 more days left to do. And we'll end right
Cool.
there. So thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
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 Thank you for watching Swing and a Crit and Miss. If you liked it, give us a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And we hope we'll see you next time. See ya!